Kanye, I don't think Kanye West is good right now. I think something happened in the midst of him saying all these things, right, about several industries. And, you know, when you come out against an industry, weird things happen to you. So it just makes me wonder what Ice Cube is going to come out and say out about the industry, right? Really quick, I'd like to thank the sponsor of this video, Keto Elevate by BioTrust. Americans' motivation for fitness has never been higher than this summer. A shocking 42% of Americans have stated they want a beach body, many of whom are switching to a keto diet to reach these health goals. To help reach these goals, I highly recommend taking this amazing keto powder. It's one of the most popular keto supplements on the market because it helps give you benefits of elevated ketones even without following a highly restrictive diet, which means you don't have to eliminate carbs. This keto mix actually boosts your metabolism, it controls your appetite, and boosts your energy levels. You can get it at ketowithnatalie.com, or there is a link in my description below. Muchachos y muchachas. Ice Cube, he has been part of the counterculture for as long as we can remember. You guys remember in the 90s, NWA, you know what, the Police, that song that was very controversial at the time. You know, he's been part of a counterculture to an extent, right? Well, he put out a video recently on Twitter talking about him not being part of the club. And it might bring everything together as to what we've been seeing, how he's been kind of dancing around certain subjects. But I have actually seen him fight with the machine at certain points, but maybe he's changing his mind. Now, back to this video. I saw it circulating on Twitter. It kept reappearing on my feed. And I was like, you know what? I'm just blowing past it. I'll watch it later. I'm not really interested right now. And then I started seeing the alternative podcasters, you know, the ones that kind of push back on culture, counterculture. And they were all inviting Ice Cube onto their podcast. And I was like, okay, Ice Cube must have said something very interesting and intriguing. What has all these podcasters inviting him on? Let's take a listen to this clip that he put on Twitter and what he has to say about the club.
Yo, what's cracking? You know what it is. It's your homeboy Ice Cube. And some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club. And a lot of you listening to me right here, right now, you're not part of the club either. And what I realized with the club is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of their fuck. That pisses them off. What club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with. You know who they are, and they definitely know who they are. A lot of people would be like, what? Who? Come on, man, stop playing. So, ever since I put out the contract with Black America, you know they fucking with me. Here and there, this and that. But it's cool, you know. I expect that. You know, I've been working with, you know, on the big three for a long time. And you know how they've been fucking with me with that. I done made it, you know, plain, simple, and clear what they've been doing. You know, the NBA been now, a lot of people might say, like, well, but Cube, you want to work with the NBA. Really, I don't give a fuck with the NBA. What I want them to do when I say work with us is to stop working against us. Stop doing that bullshit behind the scenes that we know you're doing. Mainstream media, you know, they ain't and that's cool. We can do it ourselves, you know what I'm saying? We still on the rise without these mother. We don't need them. You don't need them. You know. So what am I going to do to deal with these motherfuckers?
Okay, so far, I let you guys listen to about half of it. I'm going to give some commentary. I'll play the rest. So far, it's a little bit vague. You know, he without saying them. He says the club without saying, you know what I'm talking about. You know, things that the NBA is doing. I mean, I think you would have to be in the alternative sort of pushback culture to understand the things that he's talking about. You know, for instance, the hypocritical nature of the NBA, you know, doing certain endorsements and, you know, partnerships and, you know, disseminating certain narratives and agendas, part of the culture. You know what I mean? I know it's the NBA, but they are essentially an influence on culture. Now, I don't particularly know specifically what he's talking about with the NBA. I do know some nuances about some of that culture, right? So, you know, all this boiling down to it's very, very vague. I do catch what he's talking about, but without being super specific. So then he's going to go into what he's going to do about the gatekeepers, you know, from, I guess, you know, having this hold on the industries that he's talking about. Keepers.
Well, what I'm going to do is go on a gatekeepers podcast tour. And I'm going to go talk to everybody. So I'm so glad that I started off the video with the F the police, you know, NWA song. Like I said, at one point that was part of the counterculture in the 90s, right? He was talking about, you know, some problems that they faced themselves with the police. And then there were some other things going on with the police at that time. And listen, if you want to hear my opinion about all of that, I don't think that there's one extreme right or the one extreme wrong with the police. I think with every single industry, they're going to be a good and bad players. And I think it's the same thing with that agency, right? I think that there are good police, and then I think that there are some rotten ones that might be bought out that listen to, you know, to corrupt orders that are bought out as well. There's that section, and then there's some really good police, right? That's what I see. That's just my personal opinion, just because people, you know, listen to this channel, I guess. But anyway, I just wanted to put that out there because, you know, back at the time in the 90s, the NWA, they made a counterculture song in regards to police. So he's saying here in 2023, you know, F the gatekeepers would be like the mainstream media, the people who control the media, the airwaves, all these things, right? So now this is his kind of leading us into the water of the alternative podcasts. Everybody. You know, and get a chance to get my message out to the people. Be able to let people hear from me, you know. And you know, you might agree, you might not. But the important thing is, you know, for me to go on these platforms, say what I feel about what I think. And, you know, some people may get pissed off because I'm going to talk to everybody. I'm not playing. And it's going to be a crazy summer. It's going to be fun. Appreciate y'all. Always support the big three. Hopefully I'm doing stuff that you guys dig. You know, I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for people that's bored as fuck in the summer with summer sports and want something cool like the big three. So here we are. Appreciate you. Much love, much respect from your homeboy Ice Cube. Remember that.
Now that I think about it, though, wasn't there a controversy about Ice Cube not getting... I think there was like some sort of contract that he passed up. I don't know if it was for a movie or if it was for the NBA. Actually, be that for the NBA. I don't know. Here's my thoughts on this. I think that we are at a point of our culture where things have gotten so brazen and so out of control. I mean, you guys see what month it is. You see all types of crazy things, okay? If you guys are not following me on social media, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. I post a bunch of things, okay, there. But if you are not aware of our culture as it stands today, there are a lot of crazy things that are happening, very brazen, very open. And I think that it is getting so crazy and so depraved and just to another dimension that it actually is working against the agenda, because people are waking up. They're like, you know what? Like, we might have our differences, but this particular thing is wrong. And I recognize that, you know, I can come together. I can meet at the bridge for this particular thing. A lot of times it's the niños, like we're talking about, you know, the little ones, right? So that's one thing too. I just think that at this very point, it is a very fertile grounds for people speaking out, because I think a lot of people are becoming open to hear the truth of, you know, the various industries that are controlled. Okay. So there's that. You know, I don't think he took the thing in the arm. You guys can correct me or clarify for me in the comments below, but I think that's one of the things that he's talking about. Now, another thing that I want to kind of make known is, you know, just a little concerned, you know, because you've seen people like Kanye West, right? I think Kanye West is like ground zero example of what could happen to somebody who doesn't necessarily come out in a tactful way, because Kanye West was just like spraying and praying, man. He was just coming out and saying whatever he wanted. And you saw what happened. Several industries came up and down on his head, you know, all the fashion industry, everything, right? He got canceled in various ways. And I would even say, and I know that this might be a bit far-fetched to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. I don't think Kanye West is good right now. I think something happened in the midst of him saying all these things, right, about several industries and the puppeteering and the strings being pulled. I don't think that Kanye is okay right now, okay? Kanye West, and you guys can go look at the videos that I've put out on Harley Pasternak and all this. Kanye West has come out with text messages from what seem to be, you know, people who are handling his business, right? Like Harley Pasternak, he was a fitness trainer or is a fitness trainer, but he comes out with crazy text messages saying that I'm gonna put you in La La Land, and how about, you know, you're gonna, you know, be all looped. You know, he said some really, really bottom of the barrel things to Kanye West in that text message. And that's pretty brazen, you know, a supposed fitness trainer talking like that to like one of the biggest stars in our time right now, right? So, and I'm not saying like Kanye is like anything to be like, I'm just saying like the relevance and the importance of, you know, public figures of our time. You know, you would think that people who are under their service, who are employed by those types of people, that they wouldn't be talking to these celebrities like that, right? I'm just saying in a normal world. So with all that being said, we know something is going on with Kanye, okay? These parties that he's been having, like ritualistic dark scenes, and you know what might be going on with North, his daughter, and who knows what he has to say about it. I don't know. Something just does not seem right with Kanye, and it happened ever since he started speaking out about all these things. And I'm a little bit weary about that wifey he has, or that chick he has on his arm. And sorry, I don't even know if that's his real wife. I don't know if they actually have a marriage certificate or what. But she's also, I don't know, she's just questionable to me, you know, posing nude with just her nunus and her, you know, her chichas and all these things. Like, it's weird. Okay. So all that to say, Kanye West came out, weird things started happening to Kanye West. Rose McGowan is another example. Rose McGowan came out against Harvey Weinstein. Then Black Box came after her. Black Box is like this security company, and they monitor you very closely. The same thing with Britney Spears. Something happened with Rose McGowan. I don't know what, but she went kind of silent for a while. She went radio silent for a while. She moved away out of the, I believe, moved away. We'll just say moved away. Okay. She moved away and she went quiet for a while. And it's like, when you come out against an industry, weird things happen to you. So it just makes me wonder what Ice Cube is going to come out and say out about the industry, right? So I find this very interesting. I am curious to see who he chooses to appear on. I would say for sure probably Joe Rogan, maybe Tim Cass. Who knows? Who knows who he's going to choose to talk to? I don't know, man. I just find this very interesting. Ice Cube has come out and said these things. Who knows, man? Look, all we can say is, God protect Ice Cube, right? If he has something interesting to say, something pretty, I would say, controversial, I would almost guarantee you that this big old club is gonna have their eyes on him at the very least. That's what I'll say. So, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. What do you think Ice Cube is going to come out to say? I know that there has been, a lot of other things being said about the hip hop industry. For instance, weird little rituals and expectations, bunny ear expectations, and, a lot of weird stuff. I'll just say that, a lot of weird stuff. Okay. I wonder if that is what he will talk about. We could just tack that on to all the other corroborative accounts of that. Who knows? Let me know what you think is going to go on in the comments below. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.